Felipe shocked to discover shady relationship between Letizia and Juan Carlos. Madrid, a new wave of rumors has rocked the Spanish royal family. According to anonymous inside sources, King Felipe VI was said to be extremely upset and angry when he learned of the shady relationship between his wife, Queen Letizia, and his biological father, former King Juan Carlos. It is said that when the first information reached Felipe, he could not believe it. A calm, restrained man who always put his family first, Felipe rarely let personal emotions get in the way of his work. But this time was different. A close friend said, Felipe seemed disoriented. He kept asking, "Why did you do this? And why didn't Letizia tell me?" Rumors have swirled that Letizia had a secret relationship with Juan Carlos during the tumultuous period of the royal family. It is unclear whether the relationship was just a private exchange, a trust that went beyond limits, or something deeper. What is certain is that the incident left Felipe feeling betrayed by both his wife and his father. Letizia, meanwhile, is said to be trying to explain. She insists that the meetings with Juan Carlos were about political secrets, and were not personal. However, the lack of transparency has fueled public suspicion. Observers say this could be the most serious crisis within the Spanish royal family since Juan Carlos abdicated. A royal expert commented, "This is not just a personal love story, but also directly related to public trust." If people feel that the royal family has lost its integrity, the consequences will be huge. In the past few days, Felipe has avoided public appearances, while Letizia has appeared at some events but her face is tense, rarely smiling. Juan Carlos, who is living in exile, has been completely silent when asked by the press. Many Spaniards are waiting to see what Felipe will choose: forgive to preserve the royal image, or confront directly to protect his personal honor. Public outrage, press uproar. As soon as the rumor broke out, major newspapers in Madrid, Barcelona and even European newspapers reported it. Sensational headlines appeared. Royal family in crisis. Letizia and Juan Carlos. The secret that cannot be hidden. TV talk shows continuously invited royal experts to discuss and analyze every little detail. Social networks became a place for the public to express disappointment, even anger. Some people wrote, "Felipe is a good king, why does he have to endure this betrayal?" If this is true, the royal family has betrayed the trust of the people. This event has further weakened the already shaky trust in the Spanish royal family. The government is also caught up. Not only the public, but the Spanish government is also forced to speak out. The Prime Minister said in a press conference, "Royal matters are private, but transparency and trust are essential in any institution." Some opposition MPs also took the opportunity to call for a review of the role of the monarchy in modern times. Letizia and the effort to save her image. In that context, Queen Letizia faced terrible pressure. The media scrutinized her every expression and every word. Sources from within the palace said she cried many times, asserting that she did nothing wrong, that it was all just a misunderstanding that was blown out of proportion. However, public opinion was not easily appeased. People wanted clear answers, not half-hearted explanations. Felipe at a difficult crossroads. For Felipe, this was a double crisis, both a family tragedy and a national burden. If he remains silent, he risks being seen as weak. If he publicly condemns Letizia and his father, the royal family's image will be shattered in the eyes of the public. A longtime advisor revealed, Felipe is torn between his love for his wife and his duty to the people. He knows that one wrong move could shake the throne. Juan Carlos, the central figure, is silent. The most remarkable thing is that former King Juan Carlos has remained absolutely silent. He has not made any statements, neither denied nor confirmed. This silence makes everything more mysterious. What is the future for the Spanish royal family? While the public debates, the political world is cautious, and the press continues to dig deeper, a big question hangs in the balance. Can the Spanish royal family overcome this crisis, or will this be the turning point that weakens the dynasty forever? The tense confrontation in the palace. According to leaked sources from the Zarzuela Palace, the incident reached its climax when Felipe decided to call a private meeting with Letizia and his father, Juan Carlos. It was a cold evening when the three of them sat together in the secret meeting room, without the presence of advisors or servants. The atmosphere was described as suffocatingly heavy. Felipe, who was usually calm, did not hide his emotions this time. "Father taught me about honor, about responsibility, about loyalty. So why did he do this? And Letizia, I did not expect her to be silent before me." Letizia explained, her voice trembling. "Felipe, I never betrayed you. I was just caught up in the conversations, the secrets that your father wanted to share. I was afraid that telling them would hurt you." Juan Carlos, the once majestic and imposing man, now just sat silently. When questioned by Felipe, he replied in a low voice, "Son, there are things you don't understand. I was just looking for sympathy, someone to listen to me, when the whole world turned its back on me. But I admit, I was wrong to drag Letizia into that vortex. Tears and fragile promises." At that moment, according to the story, Letizia burst into tears, while Felipe just silently clenched his hands until they turned white. He felt betrayed, but at the same time he also realized the tragedy: his frail old father, his panicked wife, and himself standing between the abyss of honor. After hours of debate, Felipe is said to have issued a final warning: "From now on, there will be no more secrets. If there is one more concealment, I will not only be a husband, but a king who acts for the country." Juan Carlos nodded, and Letizia promised to be transparent in the future. But even so, everyone knew that trust had been broken, and that the crack would be difficult to completely heal. Public opinion is still not calm. News of the confrontation gradually leaked out, making the public even more curious. Felipe's supporters praised his firmness, while others believed that Letizia had become a victim of Juan Carlos's plot. Open ending. This story is not over. Felipe still has a kingdom to steer, Letizia must fight to restore her image, and Juan Carlos continues to cast a long shadow over the entire royal family. One political commentator concluded, "This is not just a family tragedy. It is a mirror of the fragility of the monarchy in the 21st century." Shocking decision. After weeks of internal turmoil, King Felipe VI finally made a surprising decision. In a televised address from the Zarzuela Palace, he appeared tense, his eyes red from lack of sleep. He spoke slowly but firmly, "I have always placed my trust in my family. But when that trust has been violated, I am forced to put my responsibility to the country above all else. To protect the integrity of the royal family, Queen Letizia will temporarily step back from official duties and devote time to her family. As king, I will continue to serve the people." The announcement was like an earthquake. The public was stunned. Some shed tears of sympathy for Felipe, others applauded him for his strong action. Letizia leaves the palace. Just one day later, Letizia's image appeared in the newspapers. She was sitting in a black car, leaving the palace gates, her face sadly bowed, not saying a word. It was assumed that she would go to live in seclusion in a small villa outside Madrid with her two daughters. In the eyes of the public, this was an unofficial exile, a way to avoid further scandal for the royal family. Juan Carlos, the ghost of the past. As for Juan Carlos, Although he did not appear in public, the news said that he felt remorseful. A close friend revealed, he knew that his silence and ambiguous actions had pushed his son and daughter-in-law to the brink of breaking up. But it was too late to fix it. The last image, in the following days, Felipe often appeared alone at national events. His face was more resolute, he smiled less, but his eyes radiated determination. The Spanish people looked at him with mixed feelings. Pity for his family tragedy, but also respect for his choice of honor and duty above all else. A major newspaper commented, Felipe traded love for the throne. But sometimes, a king cannot be a normal husband. That is the eternal tragedy of those who wear the crown. Conclusion. The story ends with a haunting image. Queen Letizia, walking silently in the garden of her new house, her eyes far away, while in Madrid, Felipe stood alone on the balcony of the palace, looking down on the vast square, where thousands of people still chanted his name, both as a sign of support and as a sigh for the fate of a lonely king.